Early voting is going on now across the Lone Star State, and anyone who's registered to vote can vote early in their county. When you arrive at a polling location, make sure you have an acceptable form of photo ID, such as a driver's license. For a list of early voting locations in your county, head to the Texas Secretary of State website from now until February 28th. With early voting well underway, the 2020 election is less than 9 months from now, and we're checking out what technology they will be using to count the votes. Maya Rodriguez is looking at what creates a paper trail and what doesn't.
It's the foundation of American democracy, voting. But depending on where you are in America, your election experience could look very different from your neighboring state, or even just your neighbor.
It really does depend on where you are in the country.
Marion Schneider heads up Verified Voting, a nonprofit, nonpartisan group that advocates for better election security, in particular when it comes to the use of computers in it.
We use computers in every aspect of election administration in this country. We have also historically underfunded our elections and not put the money into them that we need in order to run a computerized operation.
So what might voters encounter on Election Day? There are a few possibilities. One, a paper ballot, where a voter uses a pen or pencil to mark their choices, and that paper is then scanned and counted by a computer. Two, a computerized device, where a voter presses a touch screen to mark an electronic ballot, which then prints out a paper version that is scanned and counted. And lastly, there are paperless electronic machines. It's a completely computerized ballot with no paper trail. That last one, Schneider says, raises big concerns because they are the most vulnerable to hacking.
First of all, they make it difficult to discover if something has gone wrong. And then even if you are able to discover it, you can't recover from it.
Can't recover because there is no paper trail to serve as a backup. It's a type of ballot currently used in all elections held in Louisiana, as well as some jurisdictions in nearly a dozen other states. While states continue to grapple with the cost of replacing vulnerable and aging voting machines, Schneider says voters still need to do their part.
There's only one surefire way to make sure your vote is not counted, and that's if you don't show up at the polls.
In Washington, I'm Maya Rodriguez reporting.
Several Democratic candidates battling it out yesterday in the Nevada caucuses, one of the first opportunities to see each of them in a more diverse population. And presidential candidate Bernie Sanders coming out on top in Nevada. Last night, the senator from Vermont celebrating with supporters in San Antonio.
Nothing, Democrats. They said today that Putin wants to be sure that Trump gets elected. Here we go again. Did you see it? A story. Aren't people bored?